All right, cool, got it.
All right.
Hey, it's your girl Pheonixx Fire. Welcome to the Pheonixx Fire Show. I'm here today with BDOT. Hey, BDOT, what's up?
Peace, Queen. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How have you been?
I've been great. Hanging in there. Full time daddy mode. That's it.
Yeah, I understand. Putting the work in. It's all good. That's what a real man should do, you know?
Yep.
Well, congratulations on your EP, man. That EP, I just listened to it, coming forth by day. It's dope.
Thank you so much. I truly appreciate that.
Really, really dope. So what made you name your EP Coming Forth by Day? What was the inspiration for that?
So Coming Forth by Day is a title of actually one of the first spiritual texts, or basically one of the first religious, quote unquote, religious books, if you will, written by the ancient Egyptians. So, I always try to pull from a base of whatever I'm into and something I can draw from. So Coming Forth by Day, it's originally called the Per Imheru, but the way that's translated in English would be Coming Forth by Day. And the way to conceptualize that is basically saying coming into consciousness or coming into the day, like basically waking up, if you will. Okay. So I thought it was a proper title, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're woke, so that makes sense.
Definitely. Yeah, I wanted the music to reflect like a journey. I don't want to make like pretentious, judgmental music. I want to make music of, like I'm still in the midst with the people going through, what we all go through while trying to obtain knowledge and whatnot. So I thought it was a fitting title because it's, coming forth by day, coming into the light, not necessarily already in the light. It's like I'm coming into the light. I see it, you know what I mean? So
do you feel that has been your journey, that whatever you've been through, you've come into the light? You're going through that whole process. Is that how you feel?
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
I said, like, do you feel like you've come into the light, so now you have this knowledge and you're now woke, and that's what's inspired the name?
Yeah, well, it's always a constant journey. I don't ever think anyone can get to a point of fully being in quote unquote into the light, but it's just part of the journey still. And I think that there probably was like a misconception of me from the battle rap world transitioning into the music world, or really I'm an artist first, so I hate to say transitioning into the music world because I've always been into the music world. But I think there was this idea that my music would sound like my battles. Battles are meant to be judgmental and, I'm condemning my opponent. I'm trying to break down my opponent. But when I make music, I want my music to be more introspective, more generally relative to everybody. I want everybody to be able to find their life or things that they've seen and experienced in their life. I want them to be able to find it in my music. So yeah, it's a constant journey. I'm still, finding myself and finding truth within myself and finding truth about, who we are as a people. And that journey never stops. So, absolutely still on that journey.
Yeah. So what are your favorite tracks on the EP? One of mine is Ashe, which the name was quite interesting.
Thank you for pronouncing that correctly. Because I've been in some interviews and they've been like, oh yeah, I like that record, Ace. And I'm like,
wow.
Yeah, I'm like, nah, that's Ashe, brother. So yeah, I appreciate you pronouncing that correctly. You're the first person that did that.
Oh right, okay, that's dope.
Yeah.
So like I was saying, what's your favorite track on the EP, and what inspired you to name that particular track, Ashe?
Honestly, I'm gonna be quite honest. I had it named, so in the chorus, I'm saying we're all gonna get it. Like it's supposed to be somewhat of an inspirational record. And I had it named Get It, but I thought that was so cliche and so bland. So I called my producer, who shout out to J.R. Swifts. He's the one that produced the whole record. It's really a collaborative EP between me and him. He produced all the songs, and obviously I rapped on all the songs. But I called him and I'm like, look, bro, I don't like the name of this record, so what should we name it? And then he just said Ashe. So to be quite honest, it was just a random thing. And Ashe is a beautiful word within the Yoruba language that pretty much is equivalent to saying, hey, it is what it is. It's one word, but it's supposed to be used as an expression. I guess another way to properly hey, don't do that. I guess another way to properly translate it would be like it's equivalent to amen.
Yes.
So yeah, he just kind of blurted that out, and it stuck because I was like, this record is probably my most like up tempo, brightest,
I love it.
Song on the EP. So Ashe was a proper word. So we went with that for sure.
Yeah, definitely. It's quite an inspirational song. Like I thought it was quite. I actually have it on repeat. There's a bit in it where you said, and that was deep to me. A pistol on him, and it's for protection. Ain't nobody give him good direction. Look in the mirror at his own reflection. Too unfamiliar, no recollection. So I don't want to say it because I'll spoil it, but
you did that. You did that.
That was so deep. And you like the voice of the youth. You gotta listen, like for real. You gotta listen. Right. So I really love that track. That definitely was fun.
I appreciate that. We're actually shooting a video for that pretty soon too, so look out for that.
Okay, definitely. I'll keep my eye out for that 100%. You know. I think. So my next question for you, Brandon, is okay. So, what public figure, dead or alive, would you love to meet? Why and what would you ask them?
Oh wow, that's a dope question. What public figure would I like to meet?
They could be dead or alive. It doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, if we doing dead or alive,
yeah, dead or alive,
yeah, dead or alive, definitely Tupac. Tupac is,
really?
Not just for cliche reasons of him being such a phenomenal artist, but his life story I thought was so interesting. I feel like my life story is similar in terms of not what we experienced, but the outcome of it. The outcome of his life experience brought him to being someone who's conflicted with being in the street life and being quote unquote woke or quote unquote, Black empowerment and those things. And I feel like my life experiences have brought me to the same result. I don't have a mother that was a Black Panther and all that stuff that he went through, but whatever the road that led me to where I'm at, I feel like I can relate to him in that fashion. I'm still 1 foot in the streets, 1 foot out. I'm still conflicted. I still have to go in the mirror every day and look at myself and try to figure out who I am. And I feel like he struggled with that. Obviously within his music and everything, he put it out there. And obviously his life, unfortunately ended in that same type of struggle. Him trying to be a tough guy and getting involved in things he shouldn't have been getting involved in. Things of that nature. I can definitely relate to that. So yeah, I would say I would love to sit down with Tupac, man, and just be all ears. He's just a beautiful spirit, so definitely, rest in peace, Pac.
Rest in peace, Pac. Definitely. Okay, thank you for that answer. So my next question is, so if you were to die tomorrow, what would you like your legacy to have been?
I would say there's somebody that sacrificed his artistry for the people. Somebody that put the people first before himself, like a selfless individual, because I can quite easily just, rap about nonsense and promote, all these type of lyrics that are selling records and making people popular and doing all that kind of stuff. But I choose not to. I choose to put the ancestors first. I choose to put our people first. I choose to be selfless in my approach and my artistry, which, obviously affects my finances, affects my livelihood and my lifestyle. Because I have to take those blows that come with it. I won't be able to make as much money or sell as many records, or even in the battle world, I won't ever be a battle rap star if I were to continue and things of that nature and make
I disagree with that thought.
Well, I understand.
Oh, by the way, guys, that was AJ's voice you heard.
Yep, since you don't want to give me an intro and whatnot, I definitely gotta stop you right there though. You are a star, bro. We gotta cut that out right then. You're a star, and I feel like what you represent in battle rap, especially when you are on a big platform like Smack, that K at the end for knowledge, that's just as important as everything else. And I feel like you carry yourself in a particular way. So I just had to say that, bro. My bad to interrupt you, Ken.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate you. What I mean more so is like a star in the sense of, like all around the board. I'm a star, particularly maybe in your eyes, and maybe in a couple people's eyes. Maybe like 5 to 10% of the battle rap community would consider me a star. What I mean by a star, I mean the guys that are really the stars, the guys that really make the top tier money, the Sue Surfs, the Tay Rocks, the Geechee
Right.
Gottis, you know, all the guys that promote, you know, the gang violence and the shooting and all that stuff that they do, that has catapulted them to the top of the game. So I'm just drawing an equivalent between that and the rap world and everything that I choose to do with my artistry. If I chose to take those type of steps, it would probably financially benefit me, you know.
Sorry to interrupt. I was actually going to say, because my next question was going to
Right.
be, if you feel that violence in rap exacerbates violence in the streets, does it make it worse, or does it really matter? Because some people, like, especially these, well, I don't know, gangsters, they listen to a lot of gangster rap. So
Yeah.
like that is like something that it just keeps them in that state of mind.
Absolutely. It keeps them in that state of mind because the stuff that they rap about, now they actually have to prove it in the streets by either by their own neighborhood that knows them.
Yeah.
They're gonna get tested by their own people, and they're gonna get tested by people that don't know them and that want to see and want to test their gangsters. So not only as the gangster rapper do you have to now really live what you're rapping about, also you're influencing the young people. You may have someone that's, you know, on the fence of maybe coming up in the neighborhood to where he doesn't really want to get involved in the streets, and he's teetering, he's on the fence. But then the whole culture, like black culture, hip hop culture, it's embedded within the culture. It's obviously, you know, definitely embedded within the MCs and the rap artists that it's cool to be tough guys and it's cool to be gangsters and stuff. So for that young kid that's teetering on the fence, there's like really no way around it. It's in his face every day in the streets, and then it's in his ears and it's on his TV screen or on his laptop screen every day. So it's kind of like no way around that misconception of with what black authenticity is, male black authenticity for sure. Because for young black men, we're projected to, you know, we have to be these tough guys and these street dudes to even be authentic to our own culture. We can't be like, it can't be cool to be like a black nerd or, you know, a black bookworm or a black scientist. Like those things aren't cool in our communities. You know what I mean? It's not cool in hip hop culture. So yeah, I would say that yeah, violence definitely begets more violence, and obviously, if you're rapping about it, you're gonna have to live that out sooner or later. At some point, somebody gonna test you.
Yeah, definitely. I completely agree with that. Oh, thank you for that answer. AJ, do you have anything to add to that? Because I know AJ really wants to talk about the track Ra.
Listen,
That's in his name.
I named myself. Yeah, it's in my name, and just to hear you kind of speak on that and touch on, like, you know, the beginning and the differences and what it means, and just some certain level of knowledge that our people aren't really accustomed to is brilliant. I've been and, you know, obviously I speak to you on and off really on Twitter and things like that, and just in general, and the way you are so forward and just unapologetic about that type of knowledge about our people and the originality and things like that is touching and it's inspiring. So
thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
So no, I appreciate you for that. So you know, I just want to say, you know, I appreciate that, bro. And I just kind of need you to touch on that a little bit more. Like, what was the thought process on that particular song and in general when it came to naming your songs, the track list, and, you know, how important do you feel like it would be for somebody, like, let's say if they came across your EP and they see these different names like Asher, like Ra, for them to kind of understand what it would be like for them to go back? How important would you think the meaning behind the titles of those different tracks is?
Yeah, well, for first and foremost, you know, I think language is important. I think language is tied to culture and tied to, you know, knowing thyself and knowing who we are. So when we use certain language, even if we are, you know, using the English language, like when we say Grand Rising, you know, and things of that nature, it still has a cultural twist to it, to where we own it, and it's tied to what they would call, you know, Afrocentricity, or, you know, whatever the colloquial word that we want to use to kind of like put a big umbrella over all of it. Like whatever that is, we need to have these words to tie back into our culture, to tie back into us as a people. I mean, we know in history that obviously on the continent of Africa, we weren't all one people, but obviously we're spread out after the slave trade. We're spread out. I think that it's important to use certain words that are going to connect us all together, you know, kind of like in a Pan-African sense. So yeah, you know, I try to use terms like that, like Grand Rising. Grand Rising is obviously a way to greet each other in the morning, or to say it to ourselves in the morning, whatever. That's a way for us to connect as a people and kind of take ownership of our own culture. You have the record Ra. Ra was inspired in a kind of a sense of a rebuttal to Kendrick Lamar, who's a friend of mine. I did a record with him back in the day, so shout out to Kendrick. So this was no slight to him, but Kendrick is a Hebrew Israelite, and you know, respect to his personal belief or whatever. He had a record on his last album called Yah. Yeah. So I flipped the so my record is kind of a rebuttal to that, in a sense where, like, when that record came out, I just kind of felt like he's such a big star that he has such an influence on people, and I know that he probably converted so many people into a Hebrew Israelite ideology, because they probably listened to it and they probably like, okay, well, what is he talking about? I want to delve into this. So I just want to have that same effect. On the flip side, obviously, I'm nowhere near a star or some known public figure as much as Kendrick is, so he's going to reach millions of people. But I just wanted to put my art out there that can kind of combat that, or at least balance it out to where they can hear my side of the story, my contention with that particular ideology, and they can kind of delve into what I'm talking about. Like, okay, well, who is Ra? What is Abu Ra? And then they're going to delve into comedic science, and then they're going to learn about all the different deities, and you know, the principles of nature that these deities represent. You know, all that kind of good stuff that I would like people to, you know, go on a journey down. And if I can spark that through my artistry, then you know, that's really all I'm trying to do. So yeah, you have the Ra record, and obviously we spoke on Ashe and the meaning of that record, of that name. So yeah, just try to use titles. I actually was going to try to use it for all of the records, try to use different titles, but I just couldn't. Some records were just, you know, I was unable to find proper words, whether it be in African languages or even English way to twist it about our culture. I couldn't find it, so I just stuck with the ones that I chose. But yeah, definitely try to use certain titles to spark interest, and maybe just embed that in people's head. Maybe have people saying Grand Rising now, and have people looking into Ra and comedic science and African spiritual systems, and what does Ashe mean? You know, like when I was getting interviewed and they said it wrong, and they're saying Ace. Now I'm telling them, no, it means Ashe. You pronounce it Ashe, and this is what it means. Now they might delve into that. You know, now they might look that up and be like, okay, Yoruba, oh, this is dope. And then they might learn about Yoruba language and Yoruba spiritual system and those deities and what that represents. So, you know, it's just about sparking people's brains and putting them on a journey if I can, because somebody put me on a journey, you know, and that's why I'm where I'm at today, mentally and spiritually and all that good stuff. So if I could do that for somebody else, then that's what it's all about.
But one thing I want to say is I appreciate that, BDOT. And to kind of add to that as well, when you do claim something like that, just to say that I kind of been through that myself. When people see the Ra on my name, or they hear me rap or things like that, they ask like, "Oh, why'd you claim that?" And it's just like, "Well, what do you mean? Why not? It's ours." Like, who told you that you shouldn't claim that? You know, what's wrong with it? You know, so
they're just unaware. They're just unaware, and you know, you're gonna bring them into that understanding, because they ask you why you call yourself that. You tell them why, and then if they have any, you know, sense of curiosity or any sense of learning, then they're gonna go look that up and they're gonna learn, bro. So you did your job by just titling yourself that, for real.
Definitely. That I'm really fond of this EP as well. Just, you know, it kind of reminded me to always claim that part of ourselves and always like use different phrases. And I love the fact that you put Asher on the album, because obviously me being of Yoruba descent, I connected with that instantly. And I understand, you know, the meaning behind it, and obviously the certain twangs that you have to say and use to even pronounce it, because it's not an English word. You know, it only has an English translation. which
Right.
obviously there is the connection. So
Right.
that coupled with Raw and the different things on the album that actually make you go away and think about what those things are outside of the actual music itself is brilliant.
Thank you,
You know,
brother.
us
Appreciate
Pheonixx,
it.
I was just like, I got to talk to Beat about it. I
Yeah.
want to know, like, you know, I got to pick his brain about it. You know what I mean? So,
So I
you
said,
know,
okay,
I
AJ, you can come on.
Appreciate that.
Fine.
had to do that. I had to, man.
I know
I'm
it's
like, man,
it's okay. It's been
he
fun.
got,
It's been fun listening to you two
he
talk
got
as well, actually.
what do you mean? I was like, what? We don't got a song called Ron there? Oh no, we gotta talk about this. Like, you know, so
No doubt.
so you know, so
It's been
yeah,
awesome.
man. Just hearing your interaction with Kendrick and just the you know, it was kind of funny. Like when you tell your people you read, then it's like, oh, how many books do you read? Oh, you read too much, or you know, why you so deep into it. And it's like, well, if we've been put in a system called education or school or whatever, and we've been taught a certain way, and then you grow out of that or you grow up and you realize, well, wait a minute, that really doesn't actually correlate with me, especially
Right.
over here in Britain, being Black British, and not really being taught our actual history beyond slavery, you know, and things of that nature, and just kind of references to colonialism, and then you realize, well, hold on a minute. There was a whole other history even before that, which
Right.
ties into Black Panther and the pre-colonial language around that they actually used, which sparks conversation and things of that nature. It's just kind of dope to see somebody trying to actually push something that make our people think and therefore empower and encourage. So that's why
Nah,
I was like, I gotta talk to you about it, you know.
that's love, bro. I appreciate you, man. For real, for real. It's because
Yeah.
You good now? You good now?
it's a lonely road, man. It's a lonely journey while I'm
Yeah,
doing it. You know
it
what I mean?
is.
So to get the
It is.
appreciation and get people that understand and appreciate the attempt, man, I appreciate it for real. That's love.
Had to say that, you know, because I know obviously we far out here, but we connect, we
Right.
understand, you know, and it's just kind of dope to speak to you, man.
Definitely.
You know, and we just had to let you know that, you know, obviously out here in England we're listening, and you know, you got fans out here just as much as you would back at
Appreciate that.
home. So we have to let you know that,
No doubt, man.
um,
That's love.
you know. So yeah, Pheonixx, man. Anything else? You got anything else you want to ask Vito?
Mm-hmm. Um.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna just wrap it up. I realized I haven't even asked you anything about. Are you ever coming back to Black? Do you think? Would you ever come back?
I doubt it. You know, I'm one of them never say never people, but at the same time, I do understand that for me personally, and I know you guys gonna disagree. Every time I get on the interview with somebody about battle rap, they disagree and they try to get me back. But for me personally, like internally, I just don't see the point. Like, because all that's going to happen is they're going to book me against somebody. I'm going to stand up there. I'm going to drop knowledge. I'm going to have an angle. And then my opponent's going to tell me that I'm a hypocrite, that I'm this, that I'm that I'm trying to talk about Black empowerment and nobody wants to hear this shit. You know, it's just going to be the same story. So for me, it's kind of like, you know, it's a waste of my artistry, you know, because it's like every time I go into a building, you know, if I'm on a card, like if there's, let's say there's like 5 battles, so that's 2 people a battle. I'm terrible at math. 2, 4, 6, 8. What is that? That's 10 people, right?
10, yeah.
All right. So
Right.
you got 10 people, and so out of those 10 people and everybody that came to see the battle or anybody that watched the pay-per-view, I'm the one conscious rapper. So it's 9 other gun bar rappers. You know what I mean? So it's like
Oh
it's like
man.
walking into Burger King or McDonald's and there's like 50 customers in there and I'm over here trying to slang you some vegan food. Like, you know what I mean?
Right, some salad.
It's like yeah,
Right.
I'm over here trying to
So
give
we're
you a
trying to hear
salad.
that
They're like,
shit.
that's
Yeah, I
not
hear
what we're
you.
here for, you know. So I respect the
Right.
culture enough to step away from the culture and be like, okay, I made my mark, I planted my seeds.
Definitely.
Hopefully people get something from it. But you know, I
Yeah.
personally don't see myself ever battling again.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, that's a
just
shame.
just
That's a shame.
it is a shame, to be honest,
It's a
Phoenix,
shame,
because
but
it's weird. I mean, you bow on Smack, and people forget the acronyms. Is people forgetting the knowledge part? Like what? You
Well,
know, there's
quite honestly, even with the acronyms, it never lived up to that because even in its inception, Smack
mm,
battle rap has always been street rap, and that's cool. Like we need a balance, you know what I mean? Because I'm not one to come and judge it and hate on it like, oh, this is terrible. Look, it's entertaining. Yeah,
right.
You go to the movie, sometimes you want to watch some shit get blown up, but
right.
and then sometimes you want to go to the movies and you want to watch a dope movie that has a dope storyline and some depth to it and some substance. So I mean, we need balance, and battle rap is a subgenre of rap music, of hip hop music, where the whole premise of it is to be negative and violent. So when you come to a battle rap event, or when you order it on pay-per-view, you're ordering it because you want to be entertained by negativity and violence. So I can't.
That's the truth, though, isn't it? Really, that is
that really is the truth. It is.
No,
it's
it
just,
really is.
It's
And so I've come to terms with that. I'm like, what am I doing here, trying to drop knowledge on people when they've come to be entertained by negativity and violence? That's almost like not fair to them. Like now, if there was a conscious league, or a league that was open to more like conceptual battles, to where like, okay, here's the topic. Let's have a battle about politics, and I want you to represent Republicans, and I want you to represent Democrats. Something cool like that and innovative, to where I would be intrigued, and I would be interested in that. But as far as just like battle rap as it is, nah, man, I'm gonna keep just ordering my pay-per-views and watching like a fan. I'm good.
Oh, okay, I understand that. Well, before I let you go, my final question to you is, who's on your Mount Rushmore?
Battle rap or
battle rap and rap and hip hop.
Okay, battle rap. You got, of course, the father beloved.
Of course.
The father beloved.
You got the father beloved.
Don't get me started.
You know it.
We're definitely not getting Pheonixx started on Lux. My bad, Peter. Sorry. Oh my god.
So we got Lux. We got Lux. We got Disaster. We got it's hard, man. It's hard because of Mook's last showings. But I'm gonna say Mook, not because of his skill set or talent, but just because of what he means to battle rap culture, like what he inspired. Because nobody can argue he was the predecessor. He was the one that put it down first. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna put him up there. So I'm gonna have Lux. I'm gonna have Disaster, just because Disaster has done so many incredible things and has traveled all around the world battling, and just an exceptional, just long resume of battles. So I got to put Lux, Disaster, Mook, and for my fourth, man, it's hard, man. But I'm gonna go ahead and go Hollow.
Hollow, okay.
Hollow, okay.
Yeah. That's respectable, Mount Rushmore, definitely, yeah.
Oh. And as far as
saying that because he got Lux on there, that's why you say
no, that's not true.
yeah.
But the Mount Rushmore thing is since it's only 4, I mean, it really takes like a whole day of like processing and debating and trying to figure it out. It's such a hard thing to just say 4 battle rappers. It's very hard, because it's like there's been so many great, phenomenal MCs that battle rap, so it's hard. But that's on top of my head. That's my 4. If I thought about it over, who knows, it might change. But just off the top, that's my 4 for sure. And as far as rap, like the rap game in general, I'm gonna go Tupac. I'm gonna go Jay-Z. I'm gonna go Nas, and then I'm gonna go Jay Electronica.
Yes, brilliant.
Brilliant. Those is my 4. Yeah.
Brilliant 4.
Can
I ask you one more question? Can I do that?
Yeah, no problem. What's up?
I was just gonna ask, what do you think of Jordan Peele and the movement he's trying with, black female leads and just black leads in general? And what do you think of his style of filmmaking? Would you be interested in making something like that, or a battle rap actual film? Because we've had battle rap films, but just to ask you, I feel like you're the perfect person to ask this. Do you feel like we've had the proper representation when it came to where battle rap started, from our perspective, and just our representation in films in general? What do you think your take would be on that? So it's a 2-part question, but I felt like I didn't really want to let you go without asking you about that. I know it's not really battle rap related per se, but I needed to get your take on those 2 things.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I think Jordan Peele is doing an amazing job. Honestly, I haven't seen. Hey, I'm on the phone. Obviously, I haven't seen. Honestly, I haven't seen Us yet. I haven't seen that movie yet.
Right.
But I saw.
I think you definitely would enjoy Us for sure.
Yeah, I got to
Sure,
see
bro.
that, man. I got to try to see that ASAP. But I really enjoyed. What's the other joint?
Get out.
Get Out. Of course, I
Right.
love Get Out. I loved it. I love the creepy like eeriness to the truth that he like brings. You know what I mean? So I thought that was brilliant. I think that he's brilliant. I appreciate him for putting beautiful black sisters in lead roles and beautiful black people in general on the screen. So yeah, we tip our hat to him for that. As far as me, man, that's interesting that you said that because I was really, really, really highly disappointed with the what's the battle rap movie that just came out?
Body.
Body. I
Or
was really
versus?
disappointed. Yeah, I was really disappointed about Body. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start getting back into writing because I'm actually working on a couple books. And so while I was in the midst of writing my books, that movie came out, and I wrote a blog about it.
Yeah, I think I've read that. I've read something that you wrote about that.
Yeah, so to answer your question, like I answered your question like in my blog because I was basically saying like that the concept or the idea that our culture and our stories have to be told through white perspectives for it to be like digestible for everybody is whack to me. I feel like our stories are about our culture, especially battle rap. That's battle rap is black culture, like without even debate.
Yes.
Some people want to debate hip hop and say it's black and Latino, okay, whatever. But battle rap for sure is purely black culture. Like that's who started doing it, black people. So I think there needs to be a movie that really represents our lifestyle, our stories, and how that coincides with battle rap, and how it's such an outlet for young black people, the young black males in particular, to get up out the streets and stop doing street shit. So I think there needs to be a story where the narrative is about some black kid or maybe like multiple black kids who are trying to get out of the street life, and they use battle rap as an outlet. I would love to participate in that. I would love to help write it. I would love to act in it. I would love to be a part of something like that for sure. If that ever if that opportunity ever appears in front of me, I would definitely be involved in that. Or maybe when I get some free time and I'm really focused, maybe I can write my own script. Who knows? But yeah, that's something I would love to do though. To be honest with you.
That is brilliant. I think it would be dope for something like that. You, Daylight, certain people that are just really good writers and artists in general. I feel like you guys to actually pen something down like that to tell the
That would be
story from
dope.
our perspective. That would be brilliant, and I think people would tune into that because as an originator, sometimes originators don't get credit because what happens is you're the origin of something, but because of how it elevates and how it evolves, certain people may take it and twist it and remix it and things like that. It happens in music all the time as well.
Right.
Originators don't really get credit until it becomes to a particular point. We've seen it with Dapper Dan and Gucci and all of that, and just certain things in our culture that we really should be getting credit for. So when it comes to the subgenre of battle rap, I really feel like there hasn't been an accurate film yet of
I
what
agree.
the origins of battle rap and where it came
Absolutely.
from our perspective. So I had to ask you, because it's just been a while, and I feel like you would give a really detailed response on, what battle rap is, if a film has been put out that actually portrayed that. And thank you for that answer, King. I had to ask.
Yeah, no problem, champ. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's been awesome speaking with you, BDOT. I really enjoyed our conversation. Thank you for coming on my show. No,
absolutely, yeah. Let me know when it drops so I can definitely promote it and all that for you.
Yeah, 100%. I'll do that. I'll tag you and everything. Yeah, thank you so much for coming on the show. Oh, anyway, guys, that's all for now. I hope you guys enjoyed that podcast. It's your girl, Pheonixx Fire. Catch the next podcast dropping next week. I'm going to drop a podcast every week, guys. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, join the Discord so you don't miss out on anything. It's your girl, Pheonixx Fire. I'm out. Take it easy, guys.